Hey Flosstube friends, this is Lana, Silly Notion Stitcher. This is my Flosstube channel, all about my cross stitch and some quilting and sewing. I'm sitting today here in my closet that has been redone. I had Closets by Design come in, and this is not really even a walk-in closet, but had the white wire rack taken out and all the extras that I had tried to use to get more organization in here, and they've done a wonderful job. I have these really deep drawers. I have a jewelry drawer up here now. It goes all the way up to the ceiling and it has a wonderful light. So I thought, I think the lighting might be good here, and then I can close the door to my room and do a floss tube. So I'm going to see if I can do this though, so that it's not quite as distracting. So let's get to it. It's been a few weeks. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you if you've just recently subscribed. I've seen that I've received a lot of new subscribers. I think I'm almost up to 1,000 subscribers, which is really exciting. So please like the video, and that will continue to share the Flosstube with others. So I have some whips and I have a lot of haul because I just came back from the Needlework Extravaganza that is put on by, it used to be called Needlework Design, and it's a shop that is up in Upper New Jersey, and now it is called Needleworks by Jim, I think. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, what have I been stitching on? Here is one of my project bags, and I love this fabric. It's just, you know, it's got this vintage feel, but with an updated bright colors, and it's really reminds me of my grandmother and my Pennsylvania Dutch heritage. Okay, so I already have the project out. This is like, I hopefully got my practice out of the way. This is my third time shooting this for you all. So I am working on Shakespeare's Peddler Antique Cups and Spoons. And at the Extravaganza, I just picked up that scissors pattern. So, adorable. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually stitching this on linen. I am not typically a linen stitcher. I'm more of a Lugana now and Ada, but I have been doing a little bit more on linen, so that is exciting. And I am using this group of dinky dyes. Unfortunately, I don't know what the color is. I was given this card of dinky dyes at Stitch New Jersey retreat last year. So, but I'm really enjoying working with this, with their silks. I tried using Gloriana's for something, and it is black silk, and I feel like it's almost like stitching with white. And I was not liking it at all. So I sort of put that away. That was a Mary Poppins chart. Oh, now I'm going to put this in the wrong bag. All right, so I'm going to jump into this project. I picked this up at the Rebel Stitcher Retreat in Philly last fall. I think I started this around President's Day weekend. I have this cute little faux velvet bag that something was shipped in, so I'm like, oh, that's perfect for this. So I was actually just working on this again last night. Oh, look at this, more linen. Look at me. Now this is 40 count. I picked up this linen for free. Someone put it on the freebie table at the Rebel Stitcher Retreat, so it just is working very well for this project. And how cool is it that I bought the pattern there and get to use this linen. I'm liking how the lighting in here is working, so I hope you feel that way. So it did, I think I had just the, C and the E last night and got all the other letters done last night and some of that section. So I'm very pleased with that. I think I will finish these as the little pillows. And the called for floss is DMC 22. Isn't that interesting? It's got like a barn red rust look to it. The camera is picking it up too bright, actually. But I really have never used this red before. Never really have heard of it, I guess. And then Weeks Dye Works Navy is the blue. And it's very navy. It's more like that. So that's been fun. And this is all stored in this lovely Liberty Fabric project bag that I got in a 12 Days of Christmas like shipped club, and it's Jenny's is it Poppies and Pansies Haberdashery, something like that. I'm so sorry. Also in this bag, now I can't really say that I've worked on this yet this year, but I definitely intend to, because look at those strawberries. However, in my zeal to work on this project, and also I have a strawberries bag. In fact, you will probably see that in a moment. I think I had it in the strawberries bag. I am not exactly sure what floss I used for those berries. So I'm in a little bit of a predicament. I know that I want to take out the black floss. It is, it's an over dyed, but it's just a little too black. It's either like black coffee or something like that. So I do want to go with more of a dark gray or a dark brown or something like that. This is definitely on a Lugana. And I think it's weathered stone, possibly. Which I think is an Atomic Ranch, but I'm not sure. So that is definitely on the list for the spring, to get back to that when I can figure out what color floss to use. Now, when I was at the Needlework Extravaganza, one of my must-have purchases, I needed to get I needed to get fabric to get this started. I was talking before that I thought I had the right types of red in my stash, and I really didn't, or they were too mottled, and I thought, well, that's not going to be the look that I want. I really do want a more solid red. Now, instead of red, I did go with this watermelon, which I love. I really love, I love watermelon. I love the flavor of watermelon, and the color of it in products is awesome. So I think I'm really going to be happy with this. Now this is 18 count Ada, I believe. Maybe it's 16 count. It's weird how it's not on this bag anymore. It might be, it might have been labeled on the tote that it was in at the shop. So, so this Needleworks Extravaganza is set up in an Embassy Suites. So there's a retreat room, and then all on the second floor they have vendors that come in, and this year it grew from last year. The Frosted Pumpkin girls were even there, and so that was very exciting. They did very well. They almost sold out of everything by the last day, which was awesome because they had 4 suitcases that they brought from California, and then a number of boxes they had shipped to the location. So they really didn't have too much they had to worry about cleaning up and taking with them. But all of that said, these Embassy Suite rooms are basically set up the way that they do for Nashville's market, where you sleep in the bedroom, and then in the front there is a little sitting area where you would have, which is what my room was like. I stayed there with my friend Kathleen, who is Snickerdoodle Stitch on Flosstube, and so the shops have the front of their living space set up for shopping. It can get really super warm as people go in and everybody's gabbing, and sometimes the shop owners forget to like totally jack up their air conditioning, so I was constantly like sweating. I needed, the first night of shopping, I think it was open for maybe like 4 hours or something. I totally had to take a shower afterwards. I was so hot. But it was so great to sort of have a shopping list and go in knowing things that I was looking for so that I could stay on task. Now, the shops were there additional days as well. So those were the days that we might have gone off the list a little bit, you know, just a little. So, let me see if I can find other things that I have been working on. I actually have 2 finishes to show. I'm a little nervous that the one isn't in this one bag, though. Okay, so one of my spring projects, and I've really been trying to crank along with this, is working on more of the spring parades. So there's set 1 and there's set 2 by Leela's Studio. Now, in my humble opinion, Leela, you know, I think chicks could be driving mobiles as well of other such spring vegetables and items, like maybe a little, you know, bib lettuce or something. A little cabbage. What else could we plant? But that basket is just getting me, and that rabbit with his balloons. Oh my goodness. So, this is in a project bag that I did purchase at a retreat. All right, so I was able to, at the retreat, I finished my little beet bunny. I had pretty much finished him, but he needed all of his grass or road, and he needed the border, so I finished that at the retreat. I have started the basket. And I have continued from last year. At the retreat, I started this egg mobile. So I continued with that. This one I had finished last year at the New Jersey retreat. And it was really cool that at the retreat, a woman that I got to know there, Jocelyn, she sat with us again, and she liked this carrot mobile so much that she got the patterns, and so she worked on the strawberry this year sitting next to me and finished it. I think she started it and finished it at the retreat, and she did it on 40 count. It is so adorable in that small size. So that is one of the next ones I want to start for sure. So that's exciting to have another one of these finished. My little bead guy. Now, I am trying to think where my spring finish would be, but another project that I worked on at the retreat was filling in of this bunny, Spring Fling by Brenda Gervais. I think this goes back to like 2018 actually. Yes, 2018. I mean, I haven't had it that long, but she released it then. And I am doing it on this rose, dusty rose type Lugana. It's more that color there. Not quite, but close enough. Yeah. So it's coming along. It's quite a lot of white to fill in for that bunny. I really wanted to truck along with that and get that finished this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. This is Magnolia Blossom is what the called for white is. And when I first saw this pattern, I was like, oh, I would just use white. But it really is nice using more of a cream color. I would say it's like that. So I do like that. Now that this is out, this might be my project for later on today. And I keep all of my flosses for my spring parades in this little bag, and I just pull off what I need. They're pretty much mostly DMCs. I love these organza bags for floss because even though it's got a color, you can just see through them so well, and it keeps, I don't love the plastics just because I don't, and my cat was chewing on plastic a lot. Right now he is kind of on the outs, we believe, and so he's not even interested in plastic right now, which is a delight, but not for reasons that I would like to be happening, but he is hanging in there. Okay, so I'm gonna try to move some of this stuff out of the way. Let me see. So this is my strawberry bag. I made this several years ago. This is a Lori Holt block from one of her books. Got one of her strawberries there. I am having like pollen issues, as well as was trying to put some of this stuff away for the closet, and so all the dust and everything is kind of now straining my throat. Here is my finish. So this is from the Spring Berries booklet. I finished this spring berry, but I kind of went a little different. I have a lot of these really bright colors. This, of course, is a Grace Notes Retreat. This is Ariel, a piece of Ariel, and this is on Lugana. And I started this at the New Jersey retreat last year. I won a pack of, is it Presencia? Is that how you say it? yes, Presencia Floss. I won this. Love all those great pastel colors. So I keep this in one of my spring bags so that I have them close at hand for this type of stitching. But I will show you my finish once again. So I'm sort of showing things out of order a little bit here. I should have showed my finishes first. But it's kind of different. I hope that when it's a berry, I mean, when you see berries anyway lying there, you have to sort of turn them to see the whole design. But I think it'll come together well in the finished piece. The other one that I'm working on from this book is the robin. Okay, so it says, "Is it spring yet?" And that red is a very interesting Weeks Dye Works color. So it is cognac. And thankfully at the retreat last week, there were 2 shops that had really a good supply of like Weeks and Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks floss. So that was very appreciated that they brought in like their entire stand of those flosses. I don't think they had all of them, but to have some of these specialty colors at a retreat like that was good for us. I'm sure very good for them too. The other colors in this are Weeks Dye Works Bark, which is a brownish green, greenish brown. It's brownish green, I would say. Oyster is another color that is used, and this is like gray, purple, lilac, lavender. I guess not lilac, but more lavender, which is used in, it's the color in That Bunny. So I am very excited that I did pick up that color, because when I look at this picture, I just see it as gray, but I think I'm really going to like it because purple is my color. Okay, so here's what the chart looks like so far. So it is my work in progress. I'm happy with my robin. I did sort of have to cut the floss. I fussy cut the floss to shades that I wanted to show up. And I sort of hopped around like Robin would to get the variegation to show up the way I wanted it to, not necessarily how it was going to in the order of the shades along the thread, if that makes sense. So, and this light colored floss for the leaves is my own Franken floss, I will say. 1 strand of the Presencia mint green that I had in that bag, and then 1 darker color of a green that I have. So I hope I have enough, because this is definitely a very custom floss color. So this is another one that I need to keep going with and get this finished, and then I'll move on to the bunny. So this bunny is, I forget what it actually says. Hop into Spring. So that one is Hop into Spring. And again, this is Spring Berries by Erica Michaels, of course. Okay, and then another project that I took to the retreat, thinking like, oh, this back stitch won't be too much of a big deal while I'm sitting there gabbing with people. I did pull it out Saturday, and then I've worked on it again this week. This is, I don't know, what is this? It's a crabby day without a stitched cross. I saw this hanging in Keepsake's shop when I was out there for StitchCon, and I wanted it. I have a few different beachy and crabby charts, so I'm doing pretty well. But I thought the back stitching wouldn't be too hard to do at a retreat. Wasn't too bad. I didn't stick with it too long at the retreat. But am I finished with the words? Yes, I'm finished with the words. Very excited about that. I have the eyeballs partially in now. And I'm actually still working on some of the legs. I have to find the right final color. I sort of, again, did my own thing with my flosses. I didn't, when I was pulling the flosses, I didn't like every color combination, and probably also I am constantly having this problem because I do buy my flosses usually at like a Joann's or one of those shops, a big box store, and not an L&S that would probably have all the colors I need. So they probably didn't have one or more colors, and you can see that I put an anchor in there. But I know that what I need around the edges of the crab is actually something even darker than the darkest coral color. So I need to go through my floss stash and see what will work there so that I can keep going, and I have to pull the blue to get his little thread going. All right, so that is probably pretty much all of my whips. So we can move into haul, which is always exciting, right? So when I went to the retreat, we all got our own bags. Isn't that cute? It's Jim who runs this retreat with his sister-in-law Allison. And we got a Jim bag. Isn't that cute? So they had a nice booklet. We had, this lists all the vendors and of course our itinerary and things. This year they did something new to kind of encourage everyone to visit every vendor. Of course now I didn't bring the chart to show you what we got. I don't know why it's not in this room with me, but we were given these passports, and passport to shopping bliss, and we needed to go to each shop, and they had stickers made, and they would put their sticker in our book, and you had to have all of them. And then you earned the official retreat chart, which is really adorable. It's like done in all different colors of scissors, floss, you know, it might just say cross stitch on it or whatever. So I'll enjoy stitching that. I'm trying to do more of those types of charts and finish them to, you know, really show that side of my joy of this hobby. So I have many of them in progress and need to finish. And as you know, like when you go to retreats, sometimes there are table gifts. So my friend Kathleen, she gave each person this nice baggie, but it's full of, she had different charts that she found at a shop that she goes down to near Baltimore. It's actually more of a needle point shop, but this woman has many charts that she likes to put on clearance, or on sale, because she's always making room for the new stuff. So Kathleen actually kitted these up for us, so that was wonderful. And she's got her, I'm always excited to get more of her floss tags like this, because this is Jack's, her late Jack's kitty, and I have many kitty charts, so that will be great to have these cards for kitting up. Okay, so it was very exciting that Silver Creek Samplers, Diane Randall, was there again. She actually, this is one of her new charts that I picked up. And that is done on 40 count, I believe. Oh no, this says 18 count Ada. I think I want to do it on one of my 40 counts that I have, because I have so much of it. And I don't, now that I have it, I'm kind of like, I don't know how much I'm going to stick with 40 count. She is actually from Montrose, PA, which is a 18801 zip code. So that would be, she and I talked a little bit, and I think she is up, maybe that's up towards like the Bloomsburg area. I'm not quite sure. But, so it's cool to see and support a Pennsylvania stitcher. She was talking about that she does get down to the Lancaster area a lot because of family that she has in that area and stuff. So we were relating stories, because I thankfully get to go to Intercourse a lot, and Lancaster area. There are my two main LNSs are in that area. So this is Follow Your Heart, but Take Your Stitching With You. I would change the colors on this. But I do. This is another, like, you know, passionate about stitching type of chart that would be good to do. And I could see this being something that maybe I would do around Valentine's Day, and not, you know, not make it a Valentine's type of finish. All right, so that is that chart. So now we are just totally freewheeling into haul. So it's going to go from different categories. I might show fabric, then I might show something else. So I was looking for, well, we'll find it. So this is a pack of Cosmo floss in Christmassy colors. I do really like Cosmo floss. It is very smooth and silky, but it is cotton. And I believe it's Japanese. Yes, it's made in Japan, and it is cotton. I was suddenly, because it just looks so silky. But it is cotton, so I really do enjoy working with that. And you can get Cosmo at Fat Quarter Shop. I've purchased some floss packs from them that sometimes they have extras, because they might have had one of their, like a kit or something that didn't sell out, and you can still find them. This is what I was looking for. So when I was at the retreat, my birthday occurred, and so it happened to occur the first day of shopping. So that presented the best excuse ever to treat myself. So of course, in the very first shop, I found this purple stand to, and I'm going to do it again. You may have seen these before. They are on Amazon or Temu too, which I don't shop on Temu. But this is magnetic. I'm getting to the point sometimes where, between focusing on my work and doing the whole bifocal thing, sometimes the chart lines swirl a little bit. So I'm getting to the point that I do feel like I need a ruler sometimes. And that's what caught my eye, as well as these cute little holders. When you look at them, they look like yarn. And so this is more geared to, it's more sold as a knitter's pattern holder. But of course, you know, we like it too. So when I brought this back into the room, I sat there for 5 minutes at least, trying to figure out how to set this up, and I'm doing it again, but here we go. I finally figured it out. And that's really all it is, but it's got a nice texture and feel to it. It was definitely marked up for convenience, we'll say, because of course I looked at it, and if I would have gotten a Temu app, it would have been $0. I didn't pay $0 for it, but that's okay. All right. Let me just jump into some things that I would like to do, which is going to cross over into haul. One of the shops had, oh, she was wonderful. She was one of the places that had a lot of the flosses. There were actually 2 shops in one room in some cases, and that was the case with this. Sadly, I was a little mixed up with their names. Oh, one of them was Beeeewewe, and in the same room was like Chicks and Stitch, I think is what it was called, or something. She had a lot of, unfortunately she got there late. People thankfully set up her shop for her, but she was caught in travel nightmares because of mid-country tornadoes. But she had a lot of the new releases from Market and a whole set of totes of so many different designers. It was wonderful. Like, I was really looking for Stacey Nash, Maggie was not there, but all of her friends seemed to be there. I know Kathleen started getting into some of the animal crackers then, and she picked up one or 2 of them. But she had many of the Finally a Farm Girl, and I got the last one of these. So this one must have been popular, because I didn't buy it the first night, and then when I went back for it, I'm not in love with the goose, so I probably might skip the goose. But I just thought she was really cute. So this one is called Honey Bunny. So I want to get this one kitted up. This will go in my Easter bag so that I get going with it. This was a freebie I picked up at a retreat, and it is of course Luminous Fiber Arts from her series that she did. This one's called Gathering Clover, and I've just enjoyed seeing the all green stitches that Lori Holt has been doing, and Crosshatch Quilts, she's been showing some of hers as well, the one color samplers. So I want to do a green stitch like this. So that was very nice to find that on the freebie table. I definitely want to get back to stitching more from Jelly Bean Jubilee, of course, With Thy Needle and Thread by Brenda Gervais. So I started these in 2023. I have the Easter pillow finished. I did it actually on large count. I should have brought that to this video as a prior finish, but, and now I'm working on this little guy. So Wow, even his face isn't finished yet. But he's getting there. I love his shirt. I didn't do quite all the called for colors. I sort of picked other things. I wanted his shirt to be vibrant like that. This was a piece of Lagoon 28 count Lugana from Brick City Stitchers. I'm sitting here thinking, it says HD Lagoon, and I can't think what the HD stands for. What brand that would be of overdyed. So maybe I'll think of it. If one of you have thought of it, feel free to tell me. But I definitely want to jump on this one. Oh, so cute. Oh my gosh. So I want to get that kitted up, which shouldn't be too hard because I pretty much have all the colors of floss already together, sort of haphazardly, but they're in there. So more spring and Easter stitching, even though today's Palm Sunday, so that means I'm quickly running out of time from an Easter perspective, but I definitely will spend the rest of the month on the whole bunny, Easter, spring craze. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to decide what I go into next here. All right. Oh, here we go. One of the wonderful things that happened was, again, in that, is it listed on here? BU Needleworks. She had a lot of fabrics by Stephanie, which are lovely. This is the now famous pomegranate, made famous by this little gal. So I did pick up, oh, it's got such a cute title too. It's called Ladybug Picnic. Oh. Now, have I worked on the bee yet from last year? No, I haven't, but now they will live in the same project bag at least because they're definitely related. Trying to think, oh, Botanical Bee from last year. And this, of course, is from the wonderful Hands-On Design. Yes. So, you know, when I look at these, they look complicated and like, oh, it's going to take a long time. But when I look at the chart on the back here, I mean, it's not, there are those Smyrna stitches? I think they are Smyrna stitches, those orange ones. Oh, and the white ones. Yeah, you can see them there. But they're not going to take that long, so I need to just get a grip and do it. All right, but those will probably be more summery stitches. Here is the other Antique Scissors and Spools, is what I also picked up out of this collection by Shakespeare's Peddler. Then I'm seeing that they have the baskets one. I think somebody was working on that at the retreat, and I was like, oh boy, that's really cute too. What I'm pondering here is, I have so many fabrics that are interesting colors, and so I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe I would use one of my cottage garden threads to do this one that is several different variegated colors together, or my dinky dyes. I have a few different dinky dyes that I might choose for that. I picked up I Love Cherry Hill Stitchery, Jingle Bell Sleigh Ride Company. It's such a cute design, and I don't think would be overly... There's a lot of solid stitching, I guess, but I don't think it would take a whole lot of time. Haha. And actually, as I look at it, I picked up this Seaside Melody. Is a Lugana 28 count. And so it's like a peachy pink ballet slipper kind of look. Now, did I say... Oh, this is unfortunate. Here's what happened. Okay, now I understand what's going on here. Some stickers were playing around in a bag, and this is the right sticker for this. So this is a Vintage Rose 32 count. That's what this is. Vintage Rose 32 count. And it's actually a Zweigart. Maybe that's just the tag that they use. But this picture, I mean, definitely this is more of a beige fabric. But it could actually work nice on there. So, I don't know. This was done, though, on... Oh, it is on a 32 count. So, what I'm trying to do when I purchase things is not just purchase them, but then marry them up with a project so that I have plans for things. It's great to have stash, but, you know, when you can actually put them to use right away, that's always good. This is